Hello, and welcome to another awesome video from Kate Monster's Closet. Today, we're going to be judging the various incarnations of the character Mina Harker or Mina Murray from various Dracula movies. Starting up, number five, which is the lowest you can get on this list, is Mina Harker, played by Winona Ryder from the 1992 movie Bram Stoker's Dracula. In this movie, Winona Ryder played opposite Keanu Reeves as Jonathan Harker and Gary Oldman as Dracula. And this is the worst adaptation of her character to me because this is the one where she falls prey to Dracula's love. And this movie, Mina Harker is the reincarnation of Dracula's first wife, Elizabetta, and Mina starts to remember her life as Elizabetta and falls prey to Dracula. She begs him to turn her into a vampire, although she does slightly redeem herself at the end by killing Gary Oldman at his own request. So in this movie, she's pretty much Dracula's toy the whole time, and she gets told what to do by Menelaus. Still a great character, but not my favorite interpretation. So this brings us to number four, which honestly doesn't sound much better than Winona Ryder's Mina. And this is Ellen Hutter from Nosferatu, played by Greta Schroeder. And due to copyright issues, Nosferatu couldn't use any of the names from the Dracula book. Thus, vampires became Nosferatu, Mina Harker became Ellen Hutter. And in this movie, which is a cult classic and probably a lot of people's favorite representation of the Dracula tale. Ellen Hutter, uh, a pure character, uh, discovers that the only way to kill a vampire is for a pure woman to distract him until uh, so much that dawn comes and he's dead. So, in essence, Ellen Hutter in this movie sacrifices herself for the greater good. And I just like that. It's better than Winona Ryder's like awkward seduction, which gets weird because, Gary Oldman goes from like young, sexy Gary Oldman to like awkward, ancient vampire Gary Oldman, and that's just a really creepy turn of events. I like the Nosferatu version of Mina Harker because it's simple, straightforward, and sure, it's probably a little sexist, but she, takes power for herself at the end by giving up her life. So I just think that's better. You can argue with me if you'd like, but Keanu Reeves in a movie just kind of diminishes the whole movie. Okay, so that brings us to number three, the middle of the list. And this is Mina Murray, played by Jessica DeGao in the recent NBC Dracula series. Uh, and I like this version because we see Mina before she's married to Jonathan Harker, and we see her as a young doctor. She's interested in medicine. She's facing sexism at the university, all because her mother died when she was young, and she wants to help people. She wants to cure people. And that has the potential, or had the potential since the series was canceled, to make her a very fascinating character. Like the Bram Stoker's Dracula version, Mina Harker in the NBC's Dracula is or resembles Dracula's first love. And it is an interesting interpretation. Jonathan Rhys Meyers becomes obsessed with Mina Murray in this TV series, but I really like her as this independent woman. We get to see her relationship with Jonathan Harker develop. We get to see her friendships. I think this is just one of the more fully fleshed out versions of Mina Harker that we get, and I really appreciated it. Are there problems? Yeah, but at least we get to see her kind of on top of things for once. So uh, that's number three. Number two is Mina Harker from Penny Dreadful. I realized that, you know, arguably this television show has had one episode, so how can we know this representation is any good? I just like it because Mina Harker's an insane vampire that Timothy Dalton and Eva Green are attempting to save. We see Mina as an innocent a lot, and I really like it that in this version, the brief glimpse that we see in this first episode, she's deranged and crazy, and she's a vampire, and I don't know how much we'll get to see her. We might not see her every episode, but the idea that Mina Harker did become a vampire, she has succumbed. She is this kind of creature of the night. It's fascinating, and I think, the brief 15-minute window we saw her character on Penny Dreadful, we see her crying and then we see her, attacking. And it's an interesting dynamic. And I do like that she's Timothy Dalton's daughter because you always wondered, like, where are Mina's parents? It probably is addressed in the book, and it's just been a while for me. But so this is my bias. I like seeing women as monsters, which is why Mina Harker, played by Olivia Llewellyn in Penny Dreadful, makes number two on this list. So number one, you're probably thinking that I'm running out of Mina Harker interpretations, and I am. It was honestly a little hard to find five for this list because I don't watch movies before like the 1980s. I know. You can fault me for that. It's probably a personality flaw. So, my all-time favorite representation of Mina Harker comes from it's played by Petta Wilson in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And this version, Mina Harker has she is a vampire-ish. It appears like she's a half vampire, to be honest, but they don't give us as much information as I would have liked as to her condition. But she is a vampire. She does crazy stunts. She's on top of everything as a woman. She fights, she's in charge, she's intelligent, she's just comes off as a strong character, and she's very forceful. I do enjoy Mina Harker from the comic books, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by Alan Moore, that the movie is derived from, but I like that the movie version does have powers. She's more than a human. She's this really intense character who can hold her own with, Tom Sawyer, Dorian Gray, the Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, and Nemo, as well as Sean Connery's character, whom I can never remember his proper name. But she holds her own with, this group of famous men, and I like that. And I think uh, she deserves to be number one for sure. She never faints, and that, my friends, is a win. So, thanks for listening to the best interpretations of Mina Harker / Mina Murray, and I hope you come visit Kate Monster's closet sometime.